You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Let's talk a little bit about tech. We're going to talk a little bit about Temu and more with Marsha Collier, who joins me in studio as she normally does on a Thursday. Good evening, Marsha Collier.
Hi, Mo. We've got my favorite topic.
Didn't we talk about this? I mean, we kind of like previewed it. We were like a psychic or something, clairvoyant. We mentioned both Shine. I guess that's how they pronounce it.
Shine, yes.
Shine,
I ran it through a
Shine.
Yeah, I ran it through a thing. Yes.
Okay, Shine and Temu. We talked about them being questionable last week.
Sketchy.
And yesterday, two leaders of the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission are calling for the agency to investigate both Shine and Temu after quote unquote deadly baby and toddler products were sold on both websites. We knew that they were questionable, shady, sketchy, but now we're not the only ones saying that they're questionable, shady, and sketchy.
Well, I wanted to add a little something that isn't in the news that we know about, and it goes on. They said that they sold cushions for cribs, right? Now, don't you know that the companies who had these cushions for cribs sold them off somewhere? Obviously, the Chinese manufacturer kept making them, but before the rule is passed, they're offering them off to dollar stores. Where do you think some of that merchandise comes from?
Oh, so that's how they can sell products for 99 cents or $1. Wink, wink.
Wink. Well, no, not even wink, wink, and it's a pretty good deal. But when you look at some of the dangerous products, and we're talking about Shine and Temu, which let's take it for granted. Let's talk about Amazon for a second. I love shopping Amazon. I love unique fashion. That's why I've never downloaded
Shine, Sheen.
Yeah.
Come back, Shane.
I've never downloaded their app, but my husband can tell you that I have bought what looked like good fashion. I'd open up the plastic bag and a stench of chemicals would cut. Seriously. I mean, so bad I'd have to close it back up and I'd trot it right back to Amazon Fresh. And, of course they didn't care. But the point is, when the merchandise gets to Amazon, let's say you're an Amazon FBA seller. An FBA seller is somebody who buys a bulk of merchandise. They ship it to Amazon. Amazon charges them rent for the storage square footage, and then they'll ship the items for you. Okay? Not bad.
Sounds like a good deal, yeah.
Well, except they keep raising the rent for the square footage, so it's a really bad deal. But, so a lot of these people look for real bargains so that they can make a big profit on Amazon. Now, I'm not saying that anybody is selling deadly baby and toddler products, but in the entire world of dangerous products, somehow I might think, where does it all go? Does it just vaporize? Somebody buys it. That's called liquidation. There'll be a liquidation sale. And somebody will say, okay, I'm buying it for recycling.
Quote unquote.
Right. And turn around and sell it maybe on Amazon, because Amazon does not inspect everything that walks through the door.
No, that's why they just guarantee the product, but they're not going to inspect it.
Right. And the seller will get in trouble if they have too many complaints against them. And you notice that because the sellers will often write something, if you have a problem, come to us directly, blah, blah, blah. So just know, China for a while, I would say about 5 years ago, was on the road to making really good products. They had good electronics, they had good things, but because of relations between our country and China, there was an embargo. And when the embargo happened, they no longer had the market for the higher line goods. So there they go back to their roots of making cheaper China goods, which they used to make. I mean, there was a book written, No Longer Cheaper China, as they were doing their rise. And I was there then. And they were making great products. But no, Shanghai, incredible stuff. But we blocked it. Other countries blocked it. So now they went back to their roots. Do you know there's a city in China? I've been there. I love art. It's a little city of painters. And they have stalls, one after the other. And one stall is a guy who paints Van Gogh, and there's Van Gogh's sunflowers. There's another guy who does Picasso's whatever. And they each specialize in a couple of different paintings. And you can go there, and these guys will paint you. I have one, too, at my house. Tamara Lempicka copies that are beautiful. And that's what they did. China has always been entrepreneurial, but because there is no regulation, they can put out crap and get away with it.
So that's why when I go down to, let's say, the garment district, and I can get Louis Vuitton, but it's not exactly Louis Vuitton.
Well, I do have to tell you something. This is terrible, but thank goodness, and I miss you, Barbara. Sorry, I'm going to tell you the story. So Barbara Walters and I grew up in the same area. She's much more mature than I was. And I was on the Today Show with her, and she had one of those Hermes purses, one of those $60,000 jobs. And I sat there, and she said, "Oh, here, take it, look at it," you know. And I'm playing with her purse and the whole thing. And she turns to me and she taps my shoulder and says, "Really, it's a waste of money. Go get a good copy in China."
Yeah.
And that's the truth. And I've seen them. Actually, the counterfeits in China come in different grades. It's a whole thing. There is, I think it's the night crew from the purse manufacturing company.
It's not just, sorry to jump in, but it's not just China. When I was just in Ensenada, Mexico, and you can find counterfeit, passable, not high quality, but passable counterfeit versions of just about every bag from Coach, Chanel on down. Don't ask me why I know that. But I'm saying it's not just China, it's a cottage industry.
Oh, but like you say, there's different qualities, and some of the quality that I have seen, because I know the different things to look, because I've been an eBay seller and I, looking for bargains and things like that. I wouldn't sell them, but yeah, there are really good qualities. And I have a couple of fake bags, and now I can't tell the difference between the real ones and the.
I can. It's called the price.
No.
The $40,000. That's the difference.
It's when they're sitting in the closet for a while.
Yeah.
You don't know. But the whole thing is, I wonder what genius it was that figured out that toddler hoodies with a string to tie around the neck would be a strangulation issue. What genius was that? Why did we have to pick on China for that? I've seen little babies running around with those things on.
They are kind of popular.
Yeah. And why is that the part of the core of the Consumer Product Safety Commission? I mean, my goodness. Why aren't they protecting us from those things in the U.S.?
I suspect that you have an answer for that, and you're going to tell us on the other side of the break.
Yeah, I do.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Marsha Collier joins me in studio on this Tech Thursday, and we were talking about the questions, the sketchiness of Temu and Shine. They're very popular sites in this online marketplace, and people sometimes, from what I hear, can get some tremendous deals. There are questions about the quality and obviously safety of some of the products which are being sold. And Marsha Collier, I bow to you on this because you have far more experience in this than I do.
Well, I've written since 1998 on e-commerce. I wrote the first eBay for Dummies book and the 10th edition. So this has been my research for years and years and years. And I do know there's a markup in everything. And like I said, when markets lose a product, they have to sell it to someone. It gets liquidated to someone. And now we have the little street vendor places who are selling it. Everybody says, "Oh, it's all stolen." It's not all stolen merchandise. It's all merchandise that has been liquidated to the penny. Or they've bought a pallet of let's say, broken vacuum cleaners, and they know how to fix the vacuum cleaners. They fix them and they sell them. I mean, this has all been going on, and just because, somehow we crack down on China for little hoodies for toddlers because it has a string around it. And how many of those have you seen since
forever?
Since forever,
yeah.
Right. But, it's bad. We shouldn't allow it in this country. But let's use another country. And I'm not even saying China. Let's use a competing marketplace to make the bad guy. And kind of that's what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, I got to tell you, a lot of the merchandise from China is really cheap garbage. But the dress you can buy on Shine for $10, you can go to Amazon and buy for $30 because you have a couple of steps now. You see, somebody has imported it, bought them by the dozen. Then they sell them on Amazon. And it's a whole new product. You ever notice those weird product brand names?
Yes, I do.
Where do you think they come from?
Yeah, right.
Right?
But I maybe it's just me, but I don't have high expectations on certain types of products that I'm buying. If I can get it off Amazon, like, for example, I bought this tripod to hold my phone.
Mm-hmm.
$10. It's going to arrive at my house tomorrow. I don't have high expectations. If it can do what I need it to do, then fine. But I don't expect it to be of high quality. If I wanted super high quality, I would have gone to a legitimate retailer locally and physically put hands on it, and then made that purchase.
Yeah, and I mean, I have bought, the circle lights.
Yes, I got 5 of those ring lights.
Right, I have those at home. I have the desk one. So whenever I do a video, I have the right lighting. I don't know, and then I go do a professional interview with somebody, and they have the square LED lights, and I said,
the
crazy.
Lumen cubes and everything.
What the heck? Let's make the person look really bad. Folks, let me tell you, if you're doing your own video at home, you need the circle light. You really do. But another thing our government came up with about China, which made me laugh so hard, this is part of the big drum that they're beating. The reason they can sell $10 dresses to the United States is because of the de minimis duty program.
Explain that, please.
Right. And what is that? I'll give you a real easy way. You ever been out of the country?
Yeah, just got back last week.
And you fill out that little form. I have bought,
yeah, you can declare.
Yeah, declare, right? And there's a number, $800, that if you buy more than $800 or you declare more than $800, that you have to pay something like a 3% tax up to $1,000, and then it goes. That's all it is. This $800 magic number is nothing new. Again, which all of a sudden we are jumping on. People have been using that $800 for years. 20 years ago in my eBay business, I used to order from a manufacturer in China, some photography equipment like we were talking about. And I would sell it online. And I'd order a pallet, and I'd be darn sure that my order was under $800. Everybody's known this. It's been no secret for years.
But you could do that in perpetuity. Just make sure each order's under $800 and you're good to go.
Now, can you imagine how much stuff at Temu you'd have to buy to get an $800?
You could start your own store.
Right, exactly. And you talked about getting that camera holder. We have honestly switched to brand names again. Not Bill and Howell, because I don't know what the heck happened with that company. Have you seen their ads on TV?
No, I haven't.
I don't know. Somebody bought the name, and here's the Bill and Howell thermometer. Now, what? I thought it was a camera. But no, it's really, really interesting. You're going to have to start believing in brand names again, because too many times that you're burned on cheap purchases, you're finally going to say, I'm going to buy from Zappos.
Yeah, but see, I don't spend large quantities of money on non-brand names. Like if I'm going to buy that phone, I'm going to buy it from the legitimate Google, distributor. Or if I'm going to buy a laptop, it's going to be a ThinkPad or something like that. These are brands that I can trust.
I agree 100%. Well, and it's funny. I was listening to talk radio this weekend, and somebody went on this long rant about how they bought an iPhone off eBay and it wasn't what it was, and they were ripped off, and how horrible, and this is why you shouldn't shop on eBay. Hello?
I would never buy an iPhone on eBay.
You're safe because eBay has a 100% money back guarantee. All you have to do the minute you do it is you go to the transaction on eBay, you click a link, it takes you to a thing, you upload a picture, and bingo, you get your money back.
I'm with you. I'm saying I know that I'm safe on eBay. I'm saying I'm not going to make a $700-800 purchase on eBay.
I have. I sold a $4,000. We'll talk about eBay.
Oh, we got to do that one next week then.
My eBay history is hysterical, but hey, so much to talk about when it comes to e-cut, this kind of stuff. But just remember, this $800 has been around forever. Now we're using it as a target against whoever it is. I think they need to come up with some better stuff.
So I guess the takeaway is stay away from Shine. Stay away from Temu.
Don't even put it on your phone, folks. Really.
But if you are going to use them, know what you're getting and where it probably came from, and it's probably of lesser quality.
And know you're paying with your data when that app is on your phone.
Marsha, Collier, always great to see you.
I love talking to you, Mo.
We should do this again next week.
Let's do it.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
And if you're a sports fan like me, you know that college football has started. Professional football started tonight. As a matter of fact, Kansas City and Baltimore, they're playing right now on Thursday Night Football. And if you have DirecTV, and if you're living in Chicago, New York, Philly, San Francisco, or here in LA, you probably are struggling to see these games. I say struggling because there are other options, but you're not going to watch it via DirecTV. You might have heard of this story, but I want to give you the latest. Let me just start off, though, with the basics surrounding it. DirecTV and Disney, they're struggling to negotiate a new contract following DirecTV satellite and streaming services, which includes AT&T's Uverse and others, to broadcast ESPN, the Disney Channel, FX, and other Disney-owned networks, which include ESPN2, ESPN Deportes, ESPNU, ESPN News, ACC Network, SEC Network, Disney Junior, and National Geographic. All of those channels are blacked out right now. That is, if you have DirecTV. There are ways that you work around it, but not through DirecTV. Now, what can you do to get your Thursday Night Football or Monday Night Football, or if you want to see the games on ABC on Saturday or Sunday, the college football games, pro football games on Monday Night Football? Here's what you need to do. First, you just got to keep listening to Later with Mo Kelly, because we talk about this stuff all the time. All the time. You can get a digital antenna, and those are like maybe $7 or $8. You can plug that into your TV, stick it near a window, and you can get all your local channels for free. Well, Mo, what local channels are you talking about? I'm talking about some 70 local channels. It's probably more than that, where you'll have your customary 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, but you also have these substation channels where they show old movies, classic movies. It'll be like 4.1, 4.2, right after NBC, which is Channel 4. And you can watch local programming in that way. That will give you your ABC channel. Or if you want to stream, you can obviously get ESPN Plus. You can just get a short-time subscription there. And by the time that, let's say you have a 7-day trial subscription, you can try that. And hopefully in the next week, DirecTV will have come to some sort of deal. Or you could do it like me and just move your whole life to a streaming service, because I left DirecTV many years ago. I got tired of dealing with DirecTV and everything that they did. So I have Sling TV and I absolutely love it. And I went to Sling because I wanted live sports, and they have some great sport packages, and you can get all of these channels. I think it's an add-on. I think it's maybe $10 or $15. So you could probably have Sling and this add-on for like $35 at most if you want to keep it for the whole month. And you can watch all of the channels that I just told you. Now, if you're Mark Ronner, you don't give a damn about any of this. But if you're a sports aficionado, a true fan, I know, which is short for fanatic, like me, then you have to be able to watch your Thursday night football, which is going on right now, your Monday night football. You got to watch your SEC football on Saturdays. You got to watch USC football, Big Ten. You have to watch all of your sports. And that's not even talking about like the Major League Baseball game of the week, which may be on. This is how you have to work your way around it. DirecTV is not the way to go. And, Stefan, are you still with cable or have you completely left?
No, I haven't had same like you. I haven't had DirecTV in probably 4, maybe 5 years.
Yeah.
All streaming.
Yeah, I've been streaming, I want to say, for about 12, 13 years. And in terms of entertainment choices, it's the best decision I've ever made.
I was going to say there was a time where I had a little bit extra money. I thought, you know what, let's see. And my dad still has it. But I'm going through it and I'm like, I think about how I am at home. I can choose exactly what I want to watch when I want to watch it versus waiting for them. Whether it's a rerun or not, I just wait. Oh, it's premieres tomorrow. Okay. And I watch it late night, early morning. And I'm like, yeah, it's not worth it.
The DirecTV model is not, it is just nonsensical now. What I mean by that is, I don't know if they still charge for it, but I know up until very recently, I know they did, where they would charge you for HD. You can get a digital antenna and get HD right now for free. For free. And the fact that the people pay for it, it's just mind-boggling. And I know they still charge for their DVD or, their digital DVD. I don't know if they have a physical or digital recorder.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, digital recorder.
Yeah.
I have mine for free with Sling TV. I don't know why the people that I heard from that are so angry about, I can't believe that I can't watch the USC game or I can't watch Thursday night football because of this thing going on with DirecTV. It's like, sorry, you're a sucker. There are too many options to work around this where you could have been watching this game, which is on ABC right now. Just get a digital antenna, or you can sign up for ESPN Plus, the trial, or you can sign up for Sling TV for a week. There are too many ways to get around it, and I would encourage you to do that, and then you can see what you've been missing as far as just ease of watching your programs. I meant to say DVR, not DVD, where you can record your programs, and you can have your programs anywhere. When I was getting ready for the show tonight, what was I doing? I was watching the freaking football game on my laptop, thanks to Sling TV. I didn't have to worry about DirecTV and these, contract disputes. There are too many ways around it if you at least learn how this television thing has evolved. Now, if you're like Mark Ronner, you don't care. You just have movies. That's it.
Well, not about sports, but there's so much to watch. I mean, I know people who don't really watch their checking account, don't care what they spend, and they'll just get the whole package of everything and not use 9/10 of it. That's insanely wasteful to me.
Now, what services do you have? I know you told me, I just can't remember.
Well, I have kind of a patchwork because we share a house with our landlady, and we also use, like a couple friends' accounts for different things. And I think the less I say about that, the more I'm protected.
Have is a loaded term.
Use, obtain.
Shame on you.
Have access to. How about that?
Procure.
See, back in the day, we used to just steal people's cable. We would splice the signal.
Those splitters.
I've done that. Yeah, I've done that.
Oh, I've done it too.
I mean, the statute of limitations is long gone on that.
Yeah.
But you can get anything you need one way or the other. I mean, if you have to, you can rent stuff, but stuff pops up on YouTube. I mean, for God's sakes, my Tubi watch list alone is like 277 items. So I could die and still not get to the end of all the stuff that I've already got lined up.
We're at a point now where it is literally a lie to say there's nothing on to watch. if you can't find something that you want to watch, it's you. There's something wrong with you because there are too many services. There are too many ways. Look, there's not a TV show that I've wanted to watch that I couldn't find at a moment's notice, old or new. It could be a classic television show. It'll be on one of the streaming platforms that I have. It could be a new television show. You can find the most recent episodes on Hulu or Peacock. There's no excuse if you know what you want or the type of entertainment you want. There's never been a night that I can think of well, there's just nothing on. No, that means I'm indecisive and I don't know what I want to see.
Well, and it can be hard to keep track of as well because we have these conversations like, hey, I just canceled Peacock, but we still have Paramount Plus. Am I paying for that? No, I'm paying for that. Oh, I didn't realize you were. Slow Horses has just started season 4. I have to see that. I cannot miss that. Oh, yeah, the landlady has Apple TV Plus, so we can watch that. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Does she listen to this by chance?
I hope not.
and real quick, too, on top of what you were saying, Mo, if the algorithm, it's like evil and kind of helpful, it'll catch what you watch and be like, hey, you might actually like this movie or this show.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's what I'm basically trying to say. I have no sympathy for anyone who's upset about DirecTV and Disney getting into a tiff and you can't watch your favorite ABC shows or ESPN or FX shows because there are too many ways where you don't have to be tethered to DirecTV to find anything and everything that you want.
Oh, let them fight it out.
No. I'm not rooting for DirecTV. I'm clearly on the side of Disney. I'm saying I want DirecTV to die a very slow, painful death because they overcharged me for many, many years, and I have no problem saying that. They will never get another dime from me. Ever.
Unforgivable.
DirecTV, AT&T, I think they were called like SBC back in the day, and then they merged or something like that. But yeah, they will never get any more of my money. Mark Ronner, he's not getting any more of my money.
Oh, no, you got to use the jaws of life to pry my wallet open.
It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
The show, A Different World. It was a sequel to The Cosby Show. Excuse me, a spinoff to The Cosby Show, in which Denise, played by Lisa Bonet, went to college. And that was the beginning of the show A Different World. Now, as it turned out, she was only on the show for like a year, but the show still continued on without her. But it was in the late 80s, early 90s, and it was a pretty good representation of college life at this fictitious college called Hillman. But it was one of the few shows, at least sitcoms, that dealt with college life. But it was accurate. And if you've ever been to college, if you've ever seen a college dorm room over the years, at least years ago, it was about struggle. You were probably with a roommate. You probably didn't have a lot of money. It was not a lot of room. They had, my freshman dorm room was cinder blocks. You couldn't really do anything on the walls. You couldn't paint it. You couldn't really hang anything from it. You could maybe tape up some posters, but that was about it. But part of the college experience, back then at least, was not having a lot. I remember a lot of nights in which, outside of the meal plan, which was a blessing, you're kind of hungry. You didn't have money to do things. The really rich kids, they had money. Maybe they had a car. But for the most part, we were struggling. We just didn't have money. Well, all that's changed. I guess now it's a thing. A wave of undergraduates, especially down south, these freshmen, sophomores, they're hiring interior designers to completely make over their dorm rooms. And they're spending upwards of $10,000. That's not tuition. It has nothing to do with books. It has nothing to do with the meal plan. It has nothing to do with just money to spend from day to day. $10,000 to decorate a dorm room, which is different from an apartment room. We're talking about a dorm that you probably share a room with someone else. It's just a room. It's not like a full apartment. It's just a room. And you're spending $10,000. Let's say you've never been in a dorm room. It's about the size of a prison cell. A little bit larger. Not much larger. Okay, you have room for 2 beds, maybe some shelves, a makeshift closet, but it's not that big. And if you're spending $10,000 on a dorm room, there's something wrong with you and your family. I question your parents. I question the wisdom of anyone who's going to do that. Now, Mark, you have far more education than I do. You have
not far more money than anybody ever.
But you've been in a dorm room.
Oh, yeah. I only lived with somebody one semester, and we pranked each other so much that we just couldn't do it anymore. So I think I spent about a year total in a dorm in the United States and then a year in a dorm in Scotland, and again with the pranks, But it seems to me like if you knew anybody who had a designer room makeover like that, you'd want nothing but to just haze them into oblivion.
Quote, we're moving away from IKEA and getting the opposite of fast furniture. This is Ginger Curtis, the founder of Urbanology Designs, a high-end Dallas-based interior design space that works with students preparing to go to college. These are students, 17, 18 years old. I started college when I was 17 years old. She said she can help students on a budget. Listen to this, Mark. She said she can help students, if you don't have a lot of money. Let's say you only have budget for $7 or $8 grand.
Pocket change.
She can help you out to decorate a freaking dorm room that you don't own. Okay, whatever you do is coming down at the end of the semester or the year, because you may get a new roommate, dorm mate at the semester. Happened to me.
Oh, yeah.
You also might not even get the same room.
Hello? In other words, whatever you're spending is a wasted amount, because you cannot keep any of that stuff there longer than the time that you are staying in that dorm room, which at best is August to May.
But wouldn't that make you even more want to, say, empty out your pencil sharpener in their bed sheets, or get an ice cream bar from the cafeteria and leave it in their desk drawer, or any number of things?
This is what I hate about this. When I say this generation, this is not the young folks' fault. Generation of people in general, not understanding the value of money. If you put that $10,000 each year, let's say they're staying on campus each year, into some sort of trust or money market fund, they would be set by the time they came out of college. Not only would they not have any student debt, but they would have a launching pad for whatever they're trying to do. That's like paying for a wedding each year. Each year. That's some $30,000 to $40,000 that you're spending on decorating a room that you don't even own, that you can't even stay in more than 8 months at a time.
But I've said this to you before, Mo. That the old quote from F. Scott Fitzgerald to Hemingway, it still holds true. The rich, they're different from you and I, Mo. And Hemingway's response was, "Yeah, they got more money."
Well, this Curtis woman, she charges about $10,000 per room, which is $5 grand per student, for the full service, which requires her and her team to arrive on move-in day and put together the rooms from scratch. She also charges
for $10,000. I want the full service.
Well, that doesn't include the $100 charge for the initial consultation. There are different design packages, but her flat room prices range from $549 to $1,849. That fee includes concepts, 3D renderings, custom floor plans, and a shopping list.
Not one of those little models with the styrofoam reproductions of the buildings and stuff?
Maybe. For that money, I should get that.
Little trees.
What amazes me more than anything is people are paying for this. This is a thriving business, mostly at the southern schools like University, Ole Miss, and other schools down south. This is a big thing there. Yeah, thank goodness I couldn't afford that. No.
Let me just skim some money off of my ramen budget for some of that.
There were a number of nights where, yes, I was happy to get ramen.
Yeah.
Happy. If I had $10,000 just to decorate my dorm room, oh my gosh. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
Donald, Kamala, and all the chaos. KFI will bring you the ABC News presidential debate simulcast, Harris versus Trump, live this Tuesday evening at 6 p.m.
KFI.
and KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live